Hello and welcome, one and all, to VMEArcana, the epic return to Pride Pines, Chapter 3. Please allow me to welcome Eli! Sudden surprise guest! Who would have thought? Law school didn't take that much away from him. He's still able to play D&D, or we'll see. Hopefully he's not a rules lawyer. I'd also like to welcome, of course, Matt.
That's me. Hello.
Maddie.
Hello, hello.
And Colton.
Who, me?
Yeah. It feels better without the last names. Am I crazy for that?
Yeah.
No, keep it simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Dungeon Jukebox / Master Harrison Cordell, here to guide you through the world of Pride Pines. A place of mystery, of magic, and of the FBI? Question mark,
What?
exclamation mark? As we last left off with our Pride Pines sleuths. At the beginning of our adventure, the peaceful, idyllic life of a young woman trying to do her best, avoiding college at all costs. Honestly, might be a good idea these days. Yeah, I really got to stop it with this tone and energy. This is definitely a bizarre place to start.
Keep it going.
I know, and on the Annihilator's intro, too.
True. The Annihilator is doing his best he can to survive after Duncan Saxby, his creator, just kind of left him to focus on his pursuits in robotics.
Got other robots
Definitely-
to build.
Exactly. A lot of other robotics to build and invent. Was a little bit uncomfortable with how autonomous Matt turned out to be.
How bloodthirsty.
You're welcome.
Quite bloodthirsty. Calling something the Annihilator, and then, oh my god, what's happening? It's annihilating things.
He's killing people.
Annihilating
What?
things, what the hell?
I didn't think they'd annihilate my face. So obviously, people didn't expect the Annihilator to annihilate it, and you all didn't expect to reconnect with an old Pride Pines suspect from back in the day. Elementary schooler Reed Herrings caused a havoc after his troubled home life caused him to steal rocks from a local garden that he thought would look pretty,
It's the gateway crime.
but also supposedly stole all kinds of items from the garden, even though the evidence seems a little bit too good to be true in hindsight. Perhaps these elementary schoolers weren't above board with how they inducted their investigation.
It's a slippery slope to a life of crime.
Indeed. And a slippery slope of crime led him in an altercation with the supposedly FBI as Reed Herrings burst into the antique shop, Nancy Goldenrod's old shop, as it's known in the coastal town of Pride Pines. This is set in Oregon, by the way. That's probably the most important part, Oregon representation.
Let's go.
Absolutely epic. 2010 Oregon representation.
The golden age.
Exactly. The injured Reed Herrings busted into your shop. He asked you desperately for help. Memory, sort of shoddy, almost as shot-y as his ribcage, as 2 bullet holes were shot into
Oh
him
my god.
after an assault
True.
left him
Happens.
unconscious. With little memory of what happened other than his beloved bike Daisy was stolen away. As he
Now
was
that's
asking the
Oregon
Pride Pines to help him with the mystery of what happened to his bike, he got an answer immediately as a flashbang was tossed into the shop and exploded, and FBI members busted through the windows of the shop to go with them quietly. But obviously these guys were far too aggressive and far too clumsy. Very shoddy work for the FBI. Tripping on each other, not being able to attack you guys, a flashbang that didn't work on literally anybody. So luckily, our very talented druid of the 7 tides was able to summon a wall of water that literally stopped the entire encounter pretty much. As you guys handily dealt with all threats, and dealt with a spy that was already hidden in a shop, popping out of pottery, trying to get you guys missing of those attacks, by the way. I don't think he hit a single time. The only ones that managed to hit you were these weird cybernetic apes, or apes with like cybernetic parts strapped onto them as they were tossing rocks at you and whatnot. But yeah, obviously you guys handled this sort of joke of an FBI, seriously, revealed to be the Federal Bureau of Imagination. As you guys chased them away, Reed Herrings was able to turn into a flaming skeletal form with his mounted steed in something that is legally distinct from Ghost Rider.
That's
Inspired, an homage, if you will. But yeah, very, very handily destroyed the white vans that the FBI brought and immediately had to run away. The FBI scattered, you guys followed them, took out their vans in the half-mile stretch it takes to get from the antique shop to the library in this tiny town of Pride Pines. and now you find yourselves in front of the Pride Pines Library, their impromptu operation, as their very sort of poor form director, Zeke Bunk, begs you guys to be like, hey, we surrender. We guys didn't think you were strong at all. We just really needed to kidnap you, to hire you for a case. The first case you guys have ever been hired for in years, for the fate of the West Coast of the United States. As the introduction recap ends, Maddie, Matthew, and Colton, how do you guys feel about the situation as you see this FBI agent begging for your help? And demanding you guys solve the case that they truly, royally fucked up right in front of the Pride Pines Library as dusk tends to fade away into the night. A big full moon kind of illuminating the gray, cloudy sky. As it is raining a little bit, the classic sort of Oregon coast trickle of water is ongoing.
I mean, Holly is very excited, but also very disappointed that the big break in her career is from these doofus FBI agents. So she's listening, but she's also like keeping an eye out because she doesn't trust any of this.
Keeping an eye out, actually. Roll an investigation check for me.
Oof. There's a lot going on right now. 8.
So you can tell that the lights just sort of came on. You can tell like there's suddenly people running inside to the library and turning lights on. As in everybody that's currently with the sort of FBI, the Federal Bureau of Imagination, as it turns out, is here, went all the way to the antique shop. So basically, the numbers are like less than 20 of the members of the FBI, along with some strange sort of robotic creatures. And the rest of the sort of investigation you're trying to conduct within your mind of the setting around you is interrupted as the door kicks open to like these weird 4-legged kind of robot creatures walking out, these sort of creep droids that are just sort of walking around bobbing as it finally exits and just sort of walks into the library and like this sort of, and you find yourself, it's just like a very sort of modern kind of architectural design with like a big sort of garage door and a driveway leading into it so people can deliver very sort of library goods, just like a bigger sort of garage space than your average library. The garage door opens. You see 2 robots standing there, full 2 robots, not too dissimilar from the Annihilator, except one has like a really big like anvil looking head. And one of them has like a full pyramid looking head, like much more sort of strangely cyberpunk designs going on for these robots, not exactly haphazardly put together with like old antiques like Annihilator has been, as like they welcome the creep droids and welcome other sort of injured people coming in. You also see dragging behind them is just like you see a white van that was left behind at the scene to pick up like sort of bodies that you guys left because you guys did fully kill people. I think the body count is like about 8 people.
Hey.
It was like what happens, a couple of apes got knocked out, but you can see like with all these cybernetics and whatnot, you see that these people are more malfunctioning rather than dead. Perhaps they weren't even alive when they faced you. But rather than get caught up in like a cyberpunk-style discussion of the soul, we should move on to what Colton is thinking now that you're reunited with your bike Daisy.
Yeah, at this point, even though I was kind of in the same situation, not even like 20 minutes ago, of someone who doesn't necessarily deserve the help, but got it. So I'm feeling kind of conflicted because I got what I needed and these guys just attacked us and I don't really care about them or the sleuths at this point. I mean, I've got what I needed.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, your memory's still a little bit hazy. You know that these guys attacked you, so I'll see whatever you want to do with these guys as fit. But you definitely don't know their motivations behind why they attacked you, even though it's obvious now. But yeah, honestly, if you don't care, you don't care. How do you react in this? Do you what does Reed think about doing in this moment, as the sleuths take in their surroundings?
Well, I think I kind of take a little step back, just kind of remove myself from the association of the sleuths, but I'm still kind of observing and watching, as I kind of tend to do.
Okay, yeah.
Because maybe I don't like to admit it, but I am curious. I am kind of invested in this mystery.
Yeah, curiosity. We'll say you're inspecting Daisy, making sure she's okay. She has a very sturdy bike. Also a magical bike. She kind of follows you along as you sort of go on and lean over the van you completely flipped over. You just sort of like casually lean on it.
That's right.
And just like kind of like take a breather. You're still like a little bit steaming a little bit. Your clothes are kind of like reforming from the ashes of your skin. You see like
how
ashes
am
of your skin kind of
I-
follow you around.
I know I was healed a couple times.
Yeah.
What is the state of my bullet holes?
Yeah, you do have bullet holes in you, but honestly, your clothes are in pretty decent shape. You see, like, when your
Yeah.
skin kind of alights and, like, your skin melts off and, like, there's a lot of stuff. You see, like, there's, like, a shadowy kind of smoky haze around you that, like, kind of reforms your body as a part of your sort of, I'll reveal it now, Fey heritage. You're aware of the Feywild a little bit. Your mother was definitely raised you with that knowledge, as I'll say if I can give you a peek behind the screen. So you definitely know the magic world, but aren't really keen on sharing it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you definitely, guys, give enough space for the FBI to explain himself. He's just like, listen, we could talk inside. I only have like 4 other operatives here. You saw everybody at the thing, and I got like one guy in the basement working on all this like robot shit. Listen, I'm like you guys, okay? I'm just out of college. I was just in the wrong kind of frat. Got roped in like this whole FBI gig just because I knew some guys in my frat and just... But it's like a dumb version of the FBI. I have like a presentation to show you guys inside if you guys want to get inside from the rain. The rain is like really hurting all of like my body and like all these gashes and wounds because I was in a car crash.
All the road rash.
Holly's gonna look back to make sure that Reed doesn't run off, and she kind of like nods inside.
Cautiously following, keeping my distance. I'm still like curious. I'm still invested, but I don't want to be associated with these,
Okay.
these
All right.
sleuths ruin my life.
Excellent. So yeah, you guys make your way inside to the building. It sounds like as you guys walk in, you see a couple of like big, heavy sort of brute robots. I'm gonna say like just like 2 kind of brute robots that have like their arms assembled together and scoop up a lot of different sort of material and like viscera. Not viscera. It's not like completely bloodied, but like there's definitely like machine parts kind of trailing behind you guys, along with the van crash and stuff. It's just like, all right, these guys will clean up. Just come on in. You see a couple of different like sort of very sort of like washed up kind of intern looking people follow you along as And Matthew, you're obviously holding a closer look on Mr. Fishy, as we discussed him. A very sort of very sort of haggard, like very sort of grisly kind of like super spy that tried to attack you guys and failed truly so much in an embarrassing way. So you guys see he's not much of a threat as you sort of like usher him into the building along with you guys. It's like, we shouldn't be involving them in this way. You're giving away your hand. Bunk.
Quiet, meatbag.
Oh, don't hurt me. Oh, don't shove me like that. I'm too old for this. Oh. You see a white-haired guy with like big, fancy, like Splinter Cell night vision goggles on his head. Just like, ugh. Yeah, and this is my sort of legacy supervisor. I don't know. He's kind of like a psycho in the normal FBI, so I just sort of got him in. I got him in on loan. So yeah, he's sort of overseeing the program before it kind of ballooned into this whole mess. This is Clam Fishy, everyone. Exactly, Clam Fishy. One of the FBI's most effective operatives overseas. Every coastal environment is my killing field.
Clam fishy. Threat level minimal.
Minimal. How dare he just starts hacking up a lung. You shouldn't talk to me like that.
If this is the best that they've got, then I'm not too worried. Look, you said you wanted our help, and you said that you're going to pay us. I do have that on record, so you will be giving me money. Can you please tell me what it is that is going on so we can get started with this case?
Yes, of course, right this way. They kind of leash you in. You see like a couple of interns trying to get like the computer libraries to like work and set up a little bit. But it's, I have an iPad downstairs, so actually check this shit out. It's actually pretty sick. So yeah, iPads were just released a month ago, obviously, within the story. So having an iPad is pretty sick. It's just like, yeah, our sort of lead engineer, our only engineer, on loan from the sort of college of... What university would Duncan go to, Eli?
University, Oregon Tech, baby.
Oregon Tech.
No owls.
No owls. Hoo-hoo. As you guys walk down, you guys see a familiar face hunched over a workbench going over this, huge bags under his eyes, coffee cups strewn around. And you guys see like he's like doodling on like a sort of design table, but all the documents are just like infinitely overlapping coffee rings as he sort of has like this sort of strange sort of possession to his arm of just like, okay, knowing how to do things and whatnot. So yeah, you guys see Duncan Saxby working in the
I'm
workbench
gonna go
of this sort of dimly lit kind of room.
Coffee for you.
Oh, thanks, Annihilator. But Annihilator, what are you doing here?
Duncan, what are you doing here?
Oh, just chilling. These nice people asked me to do some work for them, and so that's what I've been up to.
You didn't think to call and let me know you were back in town?
Not exactly. I've been kind of busy. They have iPads here. Did you know that? Pretty soon, Annihilator. I hate to say it, you're gonna be much less useful these days.
Brutal.
I mean, there's iPads. Come on. What's next?
Annihilator's feeling his first emotion, and it's betrayal.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll say Duncan didn't even know he was in Pride Pines. Like, that's how sort of secretive he is. And, like, this sort of, like, mobile workshop. You see, this is, like, a sort of mobile workshop unit that he uses. And, like, you see, like, a... Mm-hmm.
Are the guys still there? Like, are they still standing there?
Yeah, it's just like, we gotta get the presentation ready.
Can I pull Duncan aside really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna be like, are you in danger? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're not held hostage or anything?
No.
These guys
I've been
just
making robots.
flashbanged the antique shop and shot at us.
What?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
I've been giving them robots. I assumed that they were using them for good purposes.
I'm pretty sure that they built those robots to kidnap us.
Oh, see, they didn't tell me they were going to do that. I'm sorry.
Dude.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, you can see, like,
Engineers, as soon as they get out of college, making weapons of mass destruction.
Oops.
It's either this or Raytheon.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you see, like, one of the power loader robots loads up, like, one of the dead apes with, like, circuitry and whatnot. He's like, yeah, so first off, repair the apes, because they're the only thing that works against these fun guys. They're the only thing that worked against these fun guys. And we'll need them for the days ahead, as we were very desperate to do a full-on assault and try to kidnap you to force you, because we don't have that much money.
Again, a phone call.
We gotta bring out the cash.
I mean, they
Fishy,
have
get
a
out
good
the
amount
cash.
of money. They've been paying me this whole time. They have enough money to pay me, and I don't come cheap. Plus, they bought these iPads.
Pretty cheap
Sure,
for our other engineers.
These iPads are not cheap, I'll tell you that much.
No, we spend it a lot on the iPads, yeah.
Yeah.
We bought all the iPads before we realized that there was like an actual world of magic. So.
Hey, Annihilator, I have something to show you. I'm sorry, I don't want to make you obsolete, but this is what I've been working on. And I gesture over to the corner where just like an iPad on like a stick with wheels at the bottom and sort of motors over. And there's just like a little face on the iPad. Here, meet this. This is
Annihilate.
No, this is Patty. He mostly just helps around the office, but I mean, frankly, Annihilator, I'm sorry. You're very near obsolescence at this point.
I'm gonna pat the Annihilator comfortingly.
I hate Patty.
Hello, Annihilator. I've heard such great things about your work.
My magic quill gives me the message cantrip. I'm gonna message Duncan and be like, don't fix any of those robots that tried to kill us. I don't trust these people.
I message back, are you sure? They're just robots.
100%. I'll show you the shop after this.
Were they really effective at capturing you? And then,
No?
oh, I message back, oh, sad emoji.
You guys are just typing on this Patty, the iPad, right next to each other.
No, I have the message cantrip, so we're pointing at each other.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You've got the stylus out.
So yeah, okay, we have the presentation set up. This is pretty haphazard. Our intern Doug did this. Honestly, he's like still trying to figure out PowerPoint because it's pretty new at this point in 2010, presumably. Don't fact check that, anyone at home. As you guys pull up a presentation, you see Click. You see powers. So yeah, this is our dossier in the current situation. I am Zeke Bunk, Kappa Omega, at Oregon Tech.
Go Kappas.
Go Kappas. I don't know why I lied about Oregon Tech. I was at like Washington D.C.'s whatever. I don't remember what college it is. I was just so blasted. My dad was like in Washington D.C. doing politics stuff, and he put me in his college, and I met a lot of guys working with like the government and stuff. And so I basically had a pretty nice road into the FBI, but it didn't do too well. Tested too well. Got a lot of guys killed with like my sort of deployments. So I had to settle down to like this sort of kind of dumb FBI subdivision, the Federal Bureau of Imagination, working in a lot of hypothetical theories and physics and technology. The only thing we've gotten off the ground is like this like sort of dream video game where a lot of people can like log in during REM sleep to like this sort of dream realm. We thought it was a dream simulation, but it turns out there's an entire realm of dreams called the ethereal realm. You see like a bunch of slides around like just sort of like his days at like the frat house and stuff. Just like a total douchebag, just like doing beer pong and stuff like that. And like you see him like in the same sort of douchebag attire with a backwards cap in an FBI kind of uniform, like an FBI jacket, like kind of like doing a shaka in front of like a active kind of crime scene. Yeah, we're still kind of figure out like have you guys ever heard of the multiverse? Like in that one episode of Spider-Man, and that's the only multiverse thing at this point in 2010. Like there's like a Spider-Man video game, Shadow Dimensions. It's pretty sick.
Holly has definitely not heard of
Duncan
that.
definitely has.
Yeah, Spider Dimensions. So yeah, basically all these sort of like imagine if every world that there was a Spider-Man, there was actually like just like different people that aren't related at all, but the kind of geographically it kind of maps up a little bit, you know, like lines up. It's like the same sort of width and size of the world, except the Feywild is flat, I think. I don't know. We've only been able to talk to one sort of fairy through sort of magical interrogation. That hasn't been as effective. We can talk to that fairy in a minute.
Hey,
like
it's
around down here
2010. Calling people fairies is not cool.
Okay. No, like an actual like Feywild fairy, capital F.
Oh,
They
I see,
reclaim
I
that
see.
word.
Tiny woodland being with butterfly wings. We got a real mouthy one here. We'll be able to talk with her in a second. And you guys can ask her, you know, for stuff. Our clues are Mr. Fishy speaks up. He's just like, speak up, kid. You gotta own up to what you fucked up in this fucked up world. Yeah, I got it, Fishy. Relax, clam. We basically figured out this sort of dream technology. We have a lot of guys on it. We did some sort of dream operations, figured out some just like insider training, found out stock value. So we just used it to get rich for a little bit. But then it turns out we actually picked up a couple of signals from a tooth fairy, it turns out. Right? So yeah, tooth fairies are just sort of fairies that have been already integrated with like the world, and like they like sort of take kids' teeth and like replace them with dollars. And we had the idea of just like, oh, how many dollars do we have? We can track this down, kind of, maybe build up the funding in the department that isn't very taken seriously because it's all hypothetical kind of stuff. And then it turns out magic was real. So we found this tooth fairy. We found them. It's just like, hey, what's going on? And the tooth fairies basically ambushed us, took out my buddy Carl, fully dead. That tooth fairy just sort of flew right through him like a bullet. So yeah, that was pretty traumatizing, and I'm still working through it, but I don't really have time for therapy because I'm like, too busy trying to find other fairies. We found a lot of different sort of fairy kind of dust magic. It's like a kind of a residue, and you see like a sort of spectral graph among like a lot of sort of coastal regions with like a lot of forests on both sides of the coast. Yeah, before we move on to like what we did when we actually made contact with the fairies, it took a while to find them. Any questions so far? I don't see any hands, so I guess I'll...
I raise my hand in the very back.
Yeah, Reed.
Is this coffee fair game?
No, it's mine.
Snatch
It's mine. I just start guzzling it.
Okay, sorry I asked.
Matt already poured one. I don't think Eli took Matt's one.
I thought he poured it for me.
Yeah, but you didn't take it, did you? I don't remember you taking it.
I took it.
Oh, you did take it.
Coffee.
Okay.
I took all the coffee.
Patty has your kind of like bi-hourly cup of coffee willing, and it's like,
Okay, sir, do you need a coffee?
That's in my contract. Yes.
They pay you in coffee.
Would you also like one, Holly?
Holly takes it.
So yeah, Patty has a tray of just sort of like a pretty solid coffee, not the best. You know, definitely magic sort of created to like be easily reproducible because Eli just drinks so much and has to for his, warlock patron, as we'll get into. All right, so yeah, everyone's got their coffee.
Duncan raises his hand. I have a question.
Yes, Duncan.
Why are you telling me this now? Like,
You didn't
I've been
ask.
working here for a while. Oh, okay. All right. And what do you want us to do about this fairy thing? I'm confused.
Yeah, we're getting to it, okay? This
All
is the
right.
setup. This is the lore. That's going to be edited down a lot more in post. But yeah, we're getting to it. So yeah, obviously we also made contact with another sort of dream being, or mainly a guy within the dream realm that doesn't sleep at all, Jova the Unresting. And you see like a very...
Oh! I know that guy.
Yeah, we're getting to it.
Sorry.
Moron. How do you have a doctorate in a year already? Insane.
Hey, you be nice to my old,
Could've-
kind of still friend.
We're still friends. That's so nice.
I don't have very many. I gotta take what I can get.
That's
Why
fair.
do we have to deal with spunky adventurers? Jesus Christ.
Tell me about it.
So yeah, obviously you see a very sort of ominous, strange, eldritch, just kind of brown cloud within the cosmos. A very insane illustration written by a guy who definitely just had a heart attack as soon as he was finishing the final strokes of this sort of complex eldritch painting, Lovecraftian style. It's like, yeah, so basically there's just like a mound of coffee floating through kind of dream space. There's like, dreams are kind of like space now. It's like, we don't need to get into all of it, dude. But yeah, basically we wanted to kind of have supremacy within the dream world as soon as we've told like our sort of supervisors and like the actual departments of the FBI before it's presented to like the government. So we're kind of like a shadowy kind of operation dealing with magic people. So we decided to go the diplomatic route and like touch base with the fairies with the aid of this eldritch deity Jova, or like Jalva, it's like Jaova,
Shova.
It's like a little bit, it's like a different pronunciation is what he told us. He talks to us only in our sleep. Yeah, he basically told us to like, as part of the deal, we have to hire Duncan. But Duncan is actually like really overqualified for this position. We like severely underpay him, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, it like totally underballed him. Like first offer we made, like no negotiations at all. We gave him like some college credit for like his last sort of term of doctorate of like, graduation he was taking in line with 4 years of school at once. I don't know. That guy's really crazy. He's got a really crazy setup with a Jova going.
He's in the room right now, right? Like he's sitting next to
Yeah,
me.
this is kind of hurtful.
You're scamming Duncan.
Honestly, he's like never like fought.
Patty like aggressively moves towards the guy.
I mean, obviously. Wait, did you make this fucking robot? You didn't tell us about this, Duncan.
Yeah, I mean, we had so many iPads just lying around. I figured I'd make a better robot than the Annihilator, but honestly, I'm starting to think that he's not a better robot than the Annihilator.
No, I'm talking about you made the Annihilator.
Oh, the guy
we were trying to capture.
Of course, of course, he made the Annihilator. You didn't know that?
Why didn't you say so?
I didn't think it was relevant. Oh, you never asked. Huh. Got your back for that one.
I was his senior year project for the science fair.
Yeah,
Don't tell him that. Annihilator. I hate when you tell people that. It sounds embarrassing.
I message the Annihilator.
He got third place.
I message the Annihilator and say, "Don't say anything else to these people."
Okay.
No.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe this.
Wait, so what'd you just say okay about Annihilator?
Anyway, so the Dream Realm. So what exactly is threatening the West Coast?
We tried to touch base with the Dream Realm. We're like, hey, listen, we're working with Jova. We're going to expand into the Dream Realm as a territory. To do that, we have to touch base with like a couple of different sort of magical creatures. It sounds like Jova pointed us in the direction of Pride Pines, which I guess Duncan is from here.
Yeah.
I never checked that, so that's
asked.
on me. I'm angrily shouting because that's on me, and I don't want to admit wrongdoing. But that's fucked, dude. That's totally effed, okay? Completely effed. So yeah, I completely effed up touching down with like the fairy population here. We kind of attracted them. Be like, hey, listen, we're coming in. Tell us how to get to the Feywild. Tell us the secrets of magic or whatever. We kidnapped some of them. Some of the fairies died. So yeah, that was a screw up on freaking this psycho son of Fishy's part. Just like, I did what had to be done. Those fairies really, really freaked me out, so I killed a bunch of them, panickedly. And that's what I'll admit to, because it had to be done.
Even the Annihilator's off put by that.
Annihilator's feeling his second emotion, and it's yikes.
And it's a yikes.
That's gonna be a yikes from the Annihilator.
And it's tugging on the shirt collar and going, ooh, ooh, ooh.
The Annihilator's yikes drivers just got updated.
So yeah, obviously we didn't offer them anything in return to kind of tell us how to like sort of spell jam into this sort of dream ships to like go into like different realms and stuff like that. We could have called it the Spelljammer Initiate because that's what Jehovah told us to in our dreams, and we're really following this sort of eldritch deity is at this point. They kind of guide the way.
Is Jehovah the only one that you've made contact with?
We did make contact with the fairies, but again, we ruined it. We started war with the fairies, but the fairies presumably have some other allies, including you guys. We assumed you guys were working with them since they were seen at your shop earlier today. That was the first time we've seen them in town since the disastrous encounter last week. We also found Reed Herrings as a person of interest ever since, his mother was reportedly from the Feywild, according to Jehovah's sort of teachings. But we couldn't find her mother because she has sadly passed away. So sorry. We offer condolences, by the way. I'll definitely apologize for kind of rushing you and shooting you before I realized your mother had died. So I'm very sorry for that, Reed.
Holly raises her hand.
Yes, Holly.
The Annihilator also raises it.
If his mother didn't die, would you not have been sorry for shooting him?
No.
Okay.
Thank
you for your candor.
Doesn't respond to that.
Annihilator, do you also had your hand raised?
I just wanted to inform you that Ollie had a question.
That's my Annihilator.
I really don't want to pay you guys.
You said you would, and I will take you to court. Now, here's the deal. You've thrown a lot of information at us, and I don't actually know who the bad guys are here, so what is it that you actually want us to do?
Well, the bad guys are obviously the fairies raising an army against us, the United States government. So you got to go out and stop them from summoning an army.
Yes, absolutely. We will go and stop the fairies from summoning an army. Can I get my pay in advance?
That's smart.
Bring it out, the pay. Go ahead. Fishy, grab it. I don't want to... Okay, it'll take me a second, because it's a lot. He sort of slowly walks out of the room.
I'm definitely a part of this, so make sure there's enough for me too.
Okay, there'll definitely be enough. Okay, bring it out, Fishy. Bring it out. You see, Fishy brings up like a duffel bag that's like definitely not all the way full, and sets it down on the workbench that you guys are talking around. So you guys can open it up if you want.
Yeah, Duncan unzips it.
Passive insight check. This guy's waiting for a trap in this bag. I'll say because you guys' passive insight is just really good. Go ahead and open it.
I'll open it. I'm excited about money.
Excellent.
So I tear from the back of the room next to the bagels and the coffee and everything. Up to this bag. All right, what do I got to roll?
Okay, roll a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. Everybody.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Damn it.
So DC 15 should be too bad for Constitution.
I got a 23.
Let's go.
That tracks.
I got a 10.
nat 1.
16.
Okay, so did you get a nat 1, Colton?
I got a nat 1, which seems appropriate.
What did
Very
you roll,
deserve
Maddie?
that.
So
I
everybody who
regret it.
failed that saving throw is blinded and deafened for
Oh, shit.
1d4 rounds.
flashbang in there?
It's a full flashbang set up with the grenade.
Holly is so pissed.
She doesn't have time to be pissed. She's flashbanged.
So for one round, okay, so only one round, you hear everyone scream, "Oh gosh," who passed the save? I wonder.
Duncan and the Annihilator.
I shoot one of the iPads.
The Annihilator takes his time to kill Patty.
I shoot every single iPad.
Yeah, Maddie goes,
Jesus Christ, Master, I've been hit.
Takes a full turn to kill Patty.
I hold Patty in my arms and say, "I'll rebuild you."
No.
so Maddie, you did save, right? So
Yeah.
Matt did save? Okay.
Yes.
So whoever saved, you cover your eyes in the right time. Is like, oh, you definitely know this trick is going to happen. You hear flashing go out the room. You see both Fishy failed their saving throws and get flashbangs. Jesus Christ! Oh,
I came out that bag pretty fast.
oh, I closed my eyes. It didn't work. I closed my eyes. Fishy, what the fuck were you thinking? Ow, fuck. Ah. I suggest sort of like, okay, we surrender actually this time.
Can I kick Fishy in the balls?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
What's his hit point total at, actually? Let me check.
Kick to the balls and he dies.
Yeah, the flashbang got him down to 1 HP.
Yeah. And I of course, would always let a divine smite happen on any ball kick.
I rolled a 19.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
All right. 6 damage for an unarmed strike.
6 damage?
Yeah, because
It's
I
the
got
Annihilator we're talking about.
1d4 plus my strength modifier bludgeoning damage for unarmed strikes. So I'm a robot.
Okay. He is on death's door after that because he was bloodied after the fight. You guys haven't short rested yet. Ugh. You see the awful, most guttural kind of old man around as you basically take him down. He's knocked prone.
Stand down.
Standing down.
Like
God, they both failed. I thought one of them could do it.
a full like
One
10
of them could do
seconds
it.
after they were like, "Oh, we surrender, we surrender."
So yeah, you hear. So yeah, Colton, as you kind of come to your senses a little bit, not enraged somehow. You look at the money
I'm
below.
pretty dazed.
You see multiple of the dollar bills are singed now because the flashbang went off in it and shredded some of them. So now it is down to I'll say rough estimates. You know what? I'm gonna roll a D100 to see how much they actually
That's
had on after they bought all these fucking iPads.
Is it going to be 100 or less?
They're down to their last $100
No.
at most.
I'll say it'll be 100 times.
Just all
100.
in ones.
Oh, okay.
They were headed towards.
So yeah, this will be times 100.
Under 100.
91 times 100.
Oh,
Okay.
So that is it dumb to say 9,100? So
Not at all.
Would be
$9,100.
correct.
Duncan freaks out. That's like
There's-
20 times what you paid me over the past year for this internship. You're just going to give it to them?
You've only been working here for like 2 months, man.
I made so many robots.
It's true. There's a lot of robots here.
Did my senses come back? Can I see everything now?
Yeah, you definitely can see. You see $9,100 on the table. You see like $400 got singed with the flashbang gimmick.
And I'm fingering through all the singed money, going no, checking each bill to see if it's okay.
If more than half of it is still there.
Yeah.
You see Gerald kind of walks over. Fitzgerald, your like sort of lava turtle, walks over and starts eating the sort of shredded money a little bit.
I'm going to scoop him up
Sort of chomps on it.
away from it. Can I make a perception check? What are the other guys doing? Are they trying to leave? Or are they just staying down because there's a gun pulled to them now?
You see only one guy like thought to like run away. So you see one of the sort of like basically these are like commoner kind of like interns for the FBI that are like kind of watching from the top of the stairs. One of them runs away completely, but the rest of them just sort of stand here, just like I really don't have anywhere to go. You guys wrecked the van, so you kind of like get that from the vibe with like passive insight. It's just like, okay, you can take the money, just don't kill the rest of us. You gotta put together these guys as robots.
Annihilator's gonna be like,
Empty out your pockets to
Fill a pot.
To rob them.
to cover the shit that got burned.
Yeah, you don't have to roll an intimidation check. He just like takes out his wallet. You see another $200 in there in cash, and you see Mr. Fishy just has like a full, just sort of suppressed pistol that he puts in there. So effed.
I'm gonna message Duncan and ask him if he can pull any information off the computers or the iPads.
I say, like, what kind of information do you want?
Anything incriminating.
can I take their ID badges too while I'm at it? While I'm mugging these guys?
You just sort of reach for it. It's just like, man, you don't have to. And you just snatch the ID badges
Let's
off
go.
them.
You're gonna have to
see,
reach
like-
out. You're gonna have to reach out to the office supervisor, then replace.
They do have
my-
like the FBI logo on them, but they do have like a really shitty font for their names, and it's like off print a little bit.
Times New
It's very
Roman.
haphazardly printed for like a bad or part of the organization.
Yeah.
Organization that's maybe not that great in the first place.
Duncan rips Patty's head off and like starts logs in and like it does an investigation check to see what kind of information he can pull up on the FBI systems.
Searching. Federal Bureau of Imagination files.
What do I roll for that? Just a d20?
Yeah, I'll say roll an Arcana check or
Investigation.
yeah, Investigation Arcana. Yeah,
I wanted to be
Whatever
investigation.
skill feels right.
Oh, +6.
Investigation.
I got a 23.
23 investigation. You see there's not as much to find as you think. You see everybody they're looking at in Pride Pines. You see a couple names. You see the name of Jeffrey A. That is a garden gnome that they found contact with, but found the garden gnome to be pretty unpleasant and pretty hard to get information out of.
Hey, Holly, they found this unpleasant garden gnome named Jeffrey Epstein.
Hey,
I knew it was Jeffrey.
named after
A.
my brother, who is a Patreon subscriber. So relax with that joke every fucking episode.
Jeffrey A. Jeffrey Epstein.
Do they also have J, E, F, and F in there? Because they have also been running rampant. Is there anything that like Holly can like physically grab as like evidence out of this place?
We were going to give you this one file that we have of just a location. You see a map of the town, and like circled on it, you see the movie theater circled. You see the antique shop double circled already. So you don't see the circles right away. You also see the Harmon residence circled. You see the apartment circled because Reed was living there, and you see a path through the forest that they attacked you on. The Pier Point Cinema is like the main sort of area that captures your eye. As also you see that both persons of interest that actually went missing yesterday are both Liberty Gibbs, the sort of guy that flaked out on you on your shift at the Pier Point Cafe, and Quinn Roman, the sort of young person in charge of the movie theater. Edits films on their own, has a lot of passion for film, but is a little bit annoying about it, so you don't connect that much, even though you guys are from the same sort of generation. Of generation of Pride Pines at this point.
Okay. I don't want to leave. I say this out loud. I don't want to leave these guys just hanging out. I don't trust them at all. No offense. Actually, you know what? Full offense.
We're not. Okay.
Yeah,
Can
Holly,
we tie them up or something? Like, leave the bagels next to them, but I don't want to leave them.
I mean, we don't have anything to tie up people or handcuff them or arrest them as the
I
FBI.
have rope.
We have handcuffs. We'd rather do handcuffs than whatever ropes you guys have. I'll admit to that right now.
All
I thought
right,
I could get
Duncan
away
helps
with it.
handcuff the
I found this rope at the dump.
So effed, dude. This freaking
Okay, I want to
sucks.
handcuff them. Is there anything that's like bolted down, or is it all like movable furniture?
Nothing's bolted down. Yeah, this is very like sort of like very temporary pop-up shop that they could travel around with. Like
handcuff
a sort
to
of
the
workshop
Annihilator
settings.
then.
A lot of aisles of nail
Taking them
parts
with
and
us.
like robotics. You see a couple of corpses are in the back, just like, hey, can we fix these corpses before you guys go? This is so effed.
Look, I see what you're saying, Holly. I don't want to bring them with us, but I am concerned that if we leave them here, that they will cause even more harm and maybe start some wars with like centaurs or some shit. I don't know.
Exactly. I can break out of any handcuffs. You see, he has a +0 to sleight of hand. Rolls a 17. Still not good enough for these handcuffs.
Does Pride Pines have like a police department? No?
I feel like at this point we probably shouldn't go to the
Oregon
police.
State Police.
I mean, the state
Look.
police like can kind of do stuff, or like around,
we
but like
can
your guys are
handcuff them.
sleuths.
The van is flipped outside, right? We could handcuff them to like.
We
the
don't have to
axle
go on the
of
van. Actually, the van was like pushed inside the garage, so it's right there. It's just like he just looks at you with like these pleading eyes.
Yeah, let's put him in the van.
His eyes start to get wet.
we can
as he
handcuff
just like.
them like around like the
have
axle
to
of
be
the
like this.
van.
It doesn't have to be like this, man.
Yep. Well, let's do that. Let's handcuff him to the van.
Loading my like diagnostic schematic of this van.
You guys drag them handcuffed together a little bit. You see the interns are just like, hey, go in the garage, stay there. You lock up all the interns too, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man.
Not all the
Hey,
interns, I hope.
next time, phone call, not flashbang.
We have so many flashbangs, though.
Yeah,
That is
clearly.
part of the
those should be
problem, I think.
confiscated.
Yeah.
We have 10 flashbangs and 10 iPads here.
That's what
All
they're-
right, we need to
That's what
quickly
I
take
went to.
inventory of the 8 remaining flashbangs. And put,
Can we find them?
yeah,
Somebody call the Inspector General.
Can I make an
Yeah.
investigation check to find them?
They're just sitting in the shelf.
Oh, sweet.
You see
just have 'em
around
out.
the corner. They just had it out, and he just like last minute clam thought to like grab a flashbang and throw it into like the zipper on the duffel bag is what happened.
All right, Annihilator, open up your storage drawer. And I put
Yeah,
all 8 of them in the Annihilator storage drawer.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, so write down 8 flashbangs.
Let's go.
DC 15 to blind and deafen a creature within 30 feet.
Ass?
Yeah, I did make this storage drawer his ass. I'm sorry about that.
For
imagery.
1d4 rounds, I'll say. 1d4 rounds is how that condition will be applied.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah,
All right,
Well-
now that these guys are handcuffed, Holly, we should probably do something about the fairies that are declaring war on us. I don't know if you have any ideas on that front.
Yeah, there is a fairy prisoner in the hold in the
That's
other
right.
room. So yeah, you see locked up in the hold. You go in there.
I've scanned through my database, and I believe we're being propositioned to be a right-wing paramilitary death squad sent into a third world country by the U.S. federal government.
I'm not excited about that,
That
but
seems to be my understanding
proposition.
of the situation based on the
Yeah, I think
data
that's
I
a-
have in my library.
It's a pretty good read, Annihilator. You got the
Yeah, that's a
situation
good
down
analysis.
pat.
I want to turn to Reed and I want to say, like, all right, what's your whole deal then? Are you with us or are you against us? Reed.
Read.
I mean, I really appreciate the help. I really do. Thank you for helping me get my bike back.
You're welcome.
I am definitely intrigued by this new financial opportunity. It's been a tough couple of years. And I'm willing to begin the process to forgive the hurt that you have done to me.
Holly gets really offended. She's like, the hurt that we've done, you're the criminal.
Yeah.
You should be thankful that I'm even trusting you to begin with.
You stole the rock, dude, from the
I
garden.
was
Don't you remember?
9. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And you guys do recall that there's like a lot of like sort of expensive plants and like a lot of sort of like financial documents that were stolen as well. That
You
was
can't-
implicated with his father, Reed's father, as well as himself. So both of them did time for kind of.
You can't hide behind that little tiny rock, okay? We know what you actually did. Just fess up.
I'm telling you, if you guys were better sleuths, you would totally know that I was framed.
How
my God.
dare you?
Oh.
Our evidence was solid, probably.
Probably. That was my life.
Okay, we were 9, but I'm fairly confident in our abilities as sleuths. I don't know if you know, but we were pretty famous.
Yeah. All around Pride Pines.
I've heard. And just so you know, yes, I did steal the rock from the
Aha.
garden. That's the only thing I stole.
Oh.
Holly just shakes her
Yeah,
head.
we accused you of a lot more than that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
There's no evidence to prove that he didn't. Okay, now I'm hearing
That's a
myself.
really
I'm
good
hearing
point.
yeah. Well, okay, I do believe in the justice system to a degree, innocent before proven guilty. Listen, if you're going to join us and you want this money, you have to cooperate with us and you have to tell us how the hell you lit on fire and became a skeleton.
Wait, hold on. He did what?
Yeah, I'll fill you in later.
Do you
Okay.
guys not do that?
No,
No,
can't
I'm
say
just
I
kidding.
do.
I know.
Annihilator goes.
Nope, I can't do that either.
I'll program in
The
that
guy in there said
functionality.
that your mother was from the Fey realm, so is she some kind of magical being?
I mean, I never fully understood the extent of it, but there was always something very special about her that frankly can only be described as magic.
Well, are you sure that you're okay being on our side of the fight with this Fey war? I'm frankly concerned about being on our side of this fight in this proposed Fey war.
Look, I'm on pretty good terms with Jeffrey A. So
Okay.
I feel like we have like this like back and forth thing, you know, but it's like it's friendly. So I'm not too
Are you
worried.
on the flight logs, Holly?
Okay.
Please, you can cut that.
You fuckers get one more. That's my damn brother, okay? You guys get one more the rest of this fucking season, okay?
One more.
Look, all I'm saying is if we go in diplomatically, we can figure this out. Because clearly I don't want to invade this dream realm that they've got going on here. But we also have to figure out what's actually going on in case there's something bigger going on at hand.
And that's where I come in. I don't want this to escalate anymore. Now, hopefully there's a little bit more cash than $9,100.
9,300. We got 200 out of
We got 200 more.
Out of the wallet. Is that what you found?
Yeah.
And we got their credit cards. So.
we got an hour.
They can't call their banks. They handcuffed them. Look,
Yeah.
we should probably go talk. We should probably go talk to this fairy that they kidnapped, and also free them because, frankly, it probably doesn't look good down there.
Yeah.
I want to go try to find that fairy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you see, go into holding cell and it's empty. The fairy is gone, and you see on the ground a little note that you can walk into and check out.
Yeah, Holly opens the note.
So yeah, obviously they try to
Duncan
hold it.
closes his eyes and covers his ears, expecting a flashbang.
You pick up the note a little bit. As you can see the scene, no need for an passive investigation. You see fairy dust going through the bars of a jail cage that they tried to put a fairy in. The fairy just flew right through.
Oh my god.
These kids are so stupid.
Yeah. You guys do see a bit of a blood trail, a teeny little blood trail though. So you can tell this fairy was wounded by these guys that are bad. And you guys don't have to immediately side with. I'll take a peek behind that screen. I don't expect you guys to side with these fuckers.
I've already decided not to.
Yeah. But you see on the note, very sort of delicate, sort of illusory script, very sort of beautiful fairy kind of typography, let's say. I can't think of a nice font off the top of my head. But you just definitely see a nice sort of eat shit on the back of what appears to be a movie ticket.
Ooh.
For the local theater, you see a movie ticket for the Pierpoint Cinema with the tagline, "Where Dreams Can Be Seen." As you can see, it's a very nice sort of spot. And it is a ticket to Sex and the City 2, which released the previous day. So this is a very recent movie ticket that the fairy got a hold of.
Checks out.
And you remember that you're late for your showing of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time at the local cinema.
Shit!
You
I was gonna
deserve
go
a
tonight
ticket still.
anyway. Okay. All right. So clearly this fairy was at the movie theater, and I kind of have tickets anyway, so might as well head there.
Did you say where the tiny little blood trail leads to?
Just outside the building and into the ventilation. It's very tiny, even tiny for a fairy, you'd think. Just leads into the ventilation, and you assume she fully escaped the building, as I'll say.
Cool. Let's head to the movie theater then.
Yeah, we head to the movie theater.
The previews are probably almost over for Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Yeah. Annihilator's big into the previews. Just want to miss him. I programmed him that way.
Doing a side gig at the movie theater.
I took way too long explaining the stuff again. That's
It happens. You gotta narrate.
lore.
For some reason, I definitely read that entire thing as you wanting us to side with the FBI who are incompetent and do their job for them. So I'm really glad that Maddie the whole time was no, these people suck.
Yeah, I definitely
We
made him
want to be a right-wing paramilitary death squad.
Exactly. So you guys make your way out of the library. You see a lot of the havoc that you caused is mostly cleaned up. You have to stake around the buildings a little bit. It's not a straight route directly to the Pride Point cinemas. Looking along the sort of coastal line. Very beautiful setting for the cinema. Very nice sort of positioning there. You guys have to walk across the shop a little bit. Are you guys taking... You guys took your bikes here, right? Obviously you're with Daisy.
Yeah.
Daisy's actually excited to be on an adventure with some other people.
Meeting other bikes.
Kind of feed some camaraderie with like a sort of... Yeah, exactly, meeting other bikes or one wheel. Eli, you bring Patty along with you and ride on it with a full seat, not a dumb one wheel
Like a
as before.
Segway.
Exactly, a full Segway with the iPad on it. You're like going on the iPad the whole way there. Looking up occasionally to see just the entire street ripped apart by a giant wall of water and like a bunch of splash, some blood across the street. They couldn't actually clean up a little bit. They just got their corpses back to turn into robots.
Let the record show
As you've done before.
Duncan is a little off-put by that.
Hey, I said I wasn't aiming to kill.
I was.
True.
I was annihilating.
It's in his name.
He's aiming to annihilate.
Yeah. But in retrospect, you can tell that, a lot of those guys were robots, except for the shouty FBI guys that were tripping on each other. So that was the ratio there. You didn't actually kill those noble apes that threw a boulder at you and almost broke your shoulder.
The dude who I executed when he was on the ground, was that a robot?
Do you guys want to take a short rest?
Yes, I would love to.
How's everyone's hit points total?
Probably should.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, actually, since you get... Yeah, okay.
How much do you get back for a short rest?
So the mechanics of a short rest, we've actually never done as a group before. Wow. So you, at your character sheet, you have a number of hit dice that are equal to your character level. At this point, 6 hit dice. You can choose to roll hit dice throughout the day as you take short rests. So basically, so Maddie, I'm guessing are you a D8 for a druid? Okay,
yes.
So you get to roll any number of D8s you want, and then that'll be the D8s you use until you guys take a long rest.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys need help with...
I mean, it's almost... I feel like I'm just going to use all of them. Might as
Colton
well.
is going to have... unless you guys can take I'll let you take a long rest. Maybe.
I used
Maybe
one,
I'm going to be tricky
and I
this adventure.
recovered 15.
I'm still at full HP, so
Excellent, yeah.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, I think you also add Constitution to each dice you roll for a short rest. Maybe not.
Sounds right. I don't know.
Okay,
so
I'm back
for
up to
as a
full
Constitution per
barbarian,
level. Yeah.
I have my hit die is a 1d12.
Yeah.
Plus 3.
No, okay, yeah. that makes
Which
sense. Yeah, I
I
think
don't know
D&D
what
Beyond
that
makes
was.
short rests
Yeah.
easy. But yeah.
I mean,
There's a
my
short rest
Constitution's
button on
plus
D&D
3.
Beyond, I forgot. Which is useful for like warlocks that get all your spells back. I don't know if you get any... Oh, Maddie, you should have your wild shape charge back.
Yeah.
So double check you have your wild shape ready to go again.
And then how many spell slots do you get back?
Only warlocks get spell slots back at short rests.
Never mind.
So that's the
Ugh.
catch.
Eli.
I know. You should be okay with spell slots. Hopefully.
Yeah, I still have a bunch. I just was curious.
Cool. So yeah, you have to sneak across onto... I have the map of Pride Pines here. I'll also post it on the Patreon for people interested. This will be freebie. As you guys sort of maneuver around, have to cut through it to get to the Pierpoint Cinema. Oh, actually, looking at this map, you guys don't have to do that at all. It's literally right by it, because I planned ahead. But forgot I planned ahead, which is the real planning ahead, am I right? So yeah, you guys make a pretty easy progress around Pine Street to get to the Pierpoint Cinema. As you see a couple of cars parked outside, not as many as usual, because as you guys know, most of the town is prepared for a big senior campout for the end of the year, for the end of May. As a lot of them are further along in the beach, you guys can actually see lights in the distance, cars honking, going a little bit crazy, and actually see like a big sort of tarp kind of fighting against the wind and the rain a little bit as the weather begins to clear up a little bit to like a more hazy rain as they sort of get ready for the final festivities of what seems to be just a large screen being constructed or sort of like lifted up. It's like inflated and lifted up. You can kind of tell from the distance as most of the town is down on the beach about a quarter mile from you all. But even though it's most of the town, there should be some people at the cinema. As you can see, a very strange scene is sort of knocked onto the ground or slanted a little bit. There's only one poster up, the poster of the current release, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, obviously, around this sort of second to last poster along this sort of wall of 6 kind of wall hangings. As you guys go up to the front door, you realize you can't open it. Like there's no way to open it. It's not locked per se, but there's just like some resistance to like actually pushing open the handle and opening the door.
Is it a pull door?
No, I wouldn't say it's a pull door. No.
I try it both ways. Okay.
Yeah, you try both ways.
That's the puzzle. That's what you're pointing at. It's a
It
pull door.
It does go both ways. You guys see the employee door is unobscured, but has a very particular lock on it. That is a very sort of hardy kind of electronic system that you guys think that you guys can't lockpick. So I'll let some other investigation and other sort of skill checks to kind of ascertain the situation.
Can Eli hack
Assess
it?
the situation.
Can
I'd love to
I
try to hack it.
cast detect magic?
Yes, you can.
I do so.
It happens automatically. You see a pretty powerful DM magic on this door. I forget the exact effect. There's a couple of like arcane lock spells and things like that.
Okay, but I know that it's magically locked.
If you guys had a super dispel magic, I'd allow it maybe, or like had to dispel magic or something like that. I'd maybe allow it, but also you can tell that like it's linked to the 6 posters on the wall in a sort of DM puzzle, if you will, a D&D puzzle, if you will, as you see these posters along the wall.
All right.
So are there 6 posters and 6
there.
things on the number, like on the
6
padlock?
slots. Yes. There's no padlock. It's just like a really chunky kind of lock with like sort of arcane energy tied to the electrical grid of the poster kind of wall hangings, as you can see fit.
Are there any inputs? Are there like 6 inputs on the lock? Is that what you're saying?
No inputs on the lock.
No
it's
inputs
just
on the lock at all.
It's just a very thick, sort of technological, slightly magical
Oh, okay.
defense for the door that is linked to the posters along the wall. As you see a poster for How to Train Your Dragon,
Ooh.
the film Grown Ups, the
Yo.
film Percy Jackson, the film Furry Vengeance,
What a year.
iconic. Went to that for my birthday.
Nice.
Brendan Fraser. All right.
Didn't pay off for that birthday trip. I'll say that much. But, very underrated film, The Spy Next Door,
Why?
where
a good
every
one.
spy character
That's
from
not a
Jackie
lot.
Chan movies is canon, and he has to team up with his buddies Billy Ray Cyrus and George Lopez to raise a family in suburbia. And of course, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. You see these posters kind of lapped over each other. The only one currently standing is the Prince of Persia, second to last, as you see. And you see all these posters kind of don't make sense, being as you're living in the world of 2010 Oregon. A lot of these posters seem a little bit outdated for a movie theater. That's the one hint I'll start off with.
Holly is humming the do, 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 from How to Train Your Dragon. She loves that movie. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. Say it. You want to take a closer look at the How to Train Your Dragon poster?
yeah, I'm just gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna put it on. Are like the hooks still there?
Yeah, the hooks are still there. You're able to just sort of easily kind of dust it off a little bit and put it back on. Which sort of, so there's 6 slots, and number 5 is taken up by Prince of Persia. What slot
I'm just
do you
gonna
take
put it
on?
on the first one and see if anything changes. And my detect magic is a concentration spell, so if anything happens, I still have it.
Yes, very good. So yeah, you see nothing changes as you click it on.
Clearly, they're supposed to be arranged in order of how good they are, and grown-ups is the only one that should be up there.
So yeah, Annihilator, do you want to try Grown Ups at number 1?
Yeah, let's put grown-ups up.
So
Is the
Grown Ups,
Annihilator's
peak
favorite
cinema.
movie?
I mean, it has to be a good movie, or otherwise, the worst idea of all time podcast wouldn't watch it 52 times for the first season. Doesn't work. Doesn't do nothing. Grown Ups.
I'm gonna try and put the Spy Next Door on the last one.
Nothing happens on the last one, sadly.
I was thinking maybe like or alphabetically, but that wouldn't work then.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what about
I
chronologically?
was just going to say, Duncan puts the Spy Next Door in the first slot.
You hear a little hum of electricity as it's effective.
How to
For
Train
a
Your
January
Dragon.
15th release.
Oh, there we go. How to Train Your Dragon in the second spot.
Nothing. Not working in the second
How to
spot.
Train Your Dragon in the third spot.
Third spot
We're
works.
just like, don't you?
I just
For a
gonna
March
brute
release.
force it.
Yeah,
No,
for the
which
March
one was
release.
released in
How's your
February?
Yeah, Percy Jackson.
It was released. You see the poster says President's Day.
Perfect. Percy Jackson, number 2.
You guys say so. Yeah, slots 1, 2, and 3 are filled by Spy Next Door, Percy Jackson, and How to Train Your Dragon. The posters remaining are Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Actually, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time is already set up. Grown Ups is still on the floor, and then Furry Vengeance is also on the floor.
So Furry Vengeance was released in April.
You look at the Furry
2000
Vengeance. It says coming soon on the poster.
Oh,
but
so
there was
we
a
put that in
hint
number 6.
outside of the game. So what slot are you putting for Revengeance in?
Number 6.
Not number 6.
No, it's
Not quite.
number 3 because
Number 3 is already taken.
It'd be number 4.
sorry,
right?
Trainer
number
Dragon.
4, number 4.
That's
A
an
little
April
hint
movie.
outside the game. Hopefully
Upcoming
against the
soon.
metagame, as it was released on April 28th, my birthday.
Oh, no way.
Well, April 29th
Yeah,
is my
you
birthday,
went
but you know,
okay.
you gotta count it, bro. You gotta count it, bro.
Of this year?
No.
Of 2010.
No. Like in game.
Yeah. You guys didn't. Nobody saw this movie, so this one takes a while to figure out with the
You're
coming
like-
soon. But you guys are able to piece it together pretty quickly as the final poster remaining. Obviously, June 25th.
Peak.
Grown-ups.
Totemic
definitely.
release.
I'm
Yet
looking
to be
forward
released.
to that one.
This was
This
the
poster is for
summer
next month
blockbuster.
for grown-ups. Blockbuster summer season. You click the grown-ups into place, and the door magically unlocks, opens,
Let's go.
as the puzzle is finally solved.
We'll have to catch that one when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's got Rob Schneider.
We gotta
Unsurprisingly, the first
we gotta make a note to come back and choose and watch this.
you got it. You got to get your tickets ahead of time. Selling out already. As
Let's
you
go
can
to the
tell,
front desk and ask if we can
That
reserve
was-
tickets.
that was indeed the first puzzle I've come up with completely on my own for a D&D game.
Hey, nice. I like it.
Good.
I like it.
Good
Classic.
Simple but effective.
like a puzzle.
We're just too smart.
So yeah, you guys open the door a little bit. You're able to go into like the kind of employee kind of entrance. It's not exactly the employee area because it's like on the same side as like the entrance. Kind of like what ACT kind of has that, right? For the Albany Civic Theater. I feel like that kind of vibe of just like it has the employees kind of door with like a ticket counter. You guys go through that doorway and are into the main lobby of the area. And you see it is just so dark in here. Like the walls themselves are absorbing the light that's outside in the windows a little bit to like a strange sort of ominous red kind of glow throughout the room. It's a little bit hard to see as your eyes settle. Does anyone have dark vision?
No, but I can cast light as a cantrip.
You can cast light as a cantrip.
Yeah, that works.
I have to touch an object. Annihilator, give me something to light up.
I have a torch.
All right. Very literal. Thank you.
You see a full medieval torch from the antique shop. You catch a light cantrip on it, and it's kind of glowing like a flashlight as you see a wooden stick.
My
kind of has a
the
flashlight.
end of my thumb
Kind of
like
going.
goes tick, and there's a little lighter.
No. We don't need fire. Put the fire out. I have literal light.
Oh. Well, I've already
Okay.
lit it.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys have two torches between you, so I can say you can split the party a little bit and search for clues if you wanted to. But I'll say,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll give this to you since you lit up the torch. You see the lights, the sort of walls themselves have a viscous red liquid covering them, kind of like a jelly jam kind of situation.
Ew.
That's sort of leading into the movie theater. That's sort of covering the entire movie theater. As you see, nobody is in the lobby, and the lights cannot be turned down. Electricity is lost.
Can
to the
I do
interior of
an
the building.
investigation check on this jelly jam on the walls?
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
want to poke
100%. Colton, you're poking it?
it. I want to poke it.
I'm gonna.
You wanna
Can I
poke it?
reach out and grab Colton's hand before he does?
No.
And then with
Too
on
late.
the other side, I go poke it.
Duncan is
Exactly.
now custom, closes his eyes and covers his ears.
Might take a flashbang. Go ahead. Since you're touching it, just roll a DC 12 strength check for me.
Okay.
Matt, if you touched it, you have to roll a DC 12 strength check, hun.
Oh, hold on.
That's not a
Well,
D20.
Is that a saving throw, or do I do based on?
Athletics check. It's an athletics
Okay.
check. So that should still be good for you, but saving throw.
That's really good. I have
is
+6 athletics.
Yeah. Roll higher than a 6. We'll see.
I rolled a
Okay,
16.
7 + 6, 13.
Jesus. Truly so close. You kind of see like you try to drag your finger along it gets caught a little bit, but then you pull it out a little bit. As you could swear, because you didn't like catch your finger on it, you could swear
Yeah.
it kind of reacts to your finger a little bit, and you see a pulse of kinetic energy pulse
Ew.
through.
I
Each
kind of
and
recoil.
every-
and go, "Eh."
Oh,
Can I make an Arcana check on it?
Yes, go ahead and make an Arcana.
Here's an idea, guys. We flashbang.
DC. What should the DC be?
Well, I got 22, so
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I was going to say DC 6, maybe.
Okay, well, I beat it.
You could tell.
Is that clear?
You could tell the actual pulse VMEArcana check. You can tell that it's kind of alerting the entire building as you see the cube kind of sag down into the walls as a sort of gelatinous cube starts to close in around you.
Finally.
Hell yeah.
Kill it.
It's cube time, baby.
Roll for initiative.
Oh.
Hold on. The cube has a -4. 2.
Can I, before, is this, you can tell me no, but before the fight begins, Holly's examining the sludge. Can she try and deduce what it's made out of?
You could tell that it's acidic slime from your really good investigation check. You just remember some, like, research you did. You found, like, a tiny little ooze slime creature that was, like, not much of an issue to, like, kind of clean out of a lady's, like, sort of kitchen. Or, like, one of the restaurants, Picking a Blanket, we'll say. Picking a Blanket had, like, a pretty troublesome encounter with a gelatinous kind of little bean, we'll say. But this is the biggest cube you've ever seen. Colton, what'd you get for
Big
initiative?
cube.
11.
11. Okay, you're doing better than the -4 and -3.
Yeah.
Both cubes have.
I'm still shaking off
As
that
it
flashbang,
slowly comes in around you.
Ew.
So you see the walls are coming towards you slowly. You feel the room itself, like the foundation of the room is like very sort of so also, honestly, I'll also do one extra warning since you rolled so well on the investigation check. You remember that these are acidic slime that are immune to acid damage. That's one immunity that you want to avoid as we move on into initiative.
Holly would
Harrison,
definitely
cue the
have that
battle
like
music.
written in her little journal, like that she's been like researching all these magical beings.
Exactly, yeah.
That was the first thing we tried, was pouring acid in the deep fryer. Yeah, that didn't work.
Did not
Correction,
work.
that's the first thing the Annihilator tried.
It created a bigger slime when you poured acid onto it. So yeah, at the start of the turn, we're gonna go with Matthew. What does the Annihilator do?
It's lock and load time, baby.
Lock and load time.
Shotgun
Exactly
out.
right.
I am gonna shoot at the closest slime near me.
All right, you shoot. You can see that like it's communicating with another slime in the room. Is how we'll kind of maneuver this. You hear like an even louder sort of like crumbling of the foundation, like the actual theater that you can kind of peek into. You see like a blue slime kind of particulate as like projector light kind of illuminates it within the actual theater room. A single theater room of the Pierpoint Cinema. So yeah, what was your attack?
16.
Absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Where?
What kind of attack do you roll on this creature?
This would
as the
be
walls close in?
piercing damage.
Piercing damage. Yep. That'll pierce it.
All right, that is 2 damage. I rolled a 1 on my damage. And because of that, I'm gonna do it again. My second attack is a 19. So also on the same one.
Yeah, absolutely hits.
That's gonna be 8 damage for that one.
All right, this thing is not looking too perturbed after some lackluster hits. We gotta be honest. But you know, this thing is definitely very easy to hit as it closes in around you, as you can
So
tell.
are the walls like coming in? Like off the walls?
You see the slime has been coated around all the walls, so it's just closing it around you within all sorts of manners of distance.
So it's coming in at all 4 sides, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a ticking clock that's just sort of closing in on you guys. As we go on to Maddie's turn.
Okay, is it on the roof or just the walls?
Just the wall, just the interior of the
Okay.
building.
This might be a little bit cheesy. Tell me if this is not okay. If I were to cast Moonbeam sideways, is that illegal? I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah, probably not sideways, because that line across the entire globe is pretty tricky. But I will
Well,
say...
it's a 40-foot high cylinder, so I just wanted to do it on its side instead of going up and down. But that's pretty cheesy.
You can do... honestly, I'll give you a little extra damage if you want to line it up along... It's lined up completely against the wall, so you can go like halfway inside, halfway out. As the moonlight kind of reflects off the floor of the door you guys just opened. So moonbeam kind of moonlight illuminates the room a lot more, allowing you guys to hit, even though it wasn't dark in the first place, because you guys thought ahead and lit torches.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Moonbeam. Anything that that enters the spell's area for the first time makes a Constitution saving throw, or else takes 2d10 radiant damage or halved.
Constitution. Now, its Constitution is pretty good.
I know, that's what I figured, but I don't have very many good spells prepared.
But Moonbeam.
Actually, can I also Wild Shape as a bonus action?
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna do Still Water, which is any
Oh, yep. That's really good. And you're concentrating on the Moonbeam, a very still body of water in your mind, as like a little ripple goes through, and then naturally goes back to its own shape as it makes this Constitution save. That's 11 plus 5. It does save this round. Takes half. Okay. So yeah, we'll call that 6 damage, 7 damage for now. So yeah, 7 radiant damage. Great. We go on to Eli's turn.
And in my mind, all this is for Duck. It is in a dark room. He just opens up a laptop on max brightness and just the light shines out.
So Eldritch Blast. Actually, I do think
just the brightness meter of the iPad goes up and up and up and up.
Yeah, go ahead and do beam. That's 2d10.
What is
plus your charisma?
I forget how I cast spells. I'm level 6, so I get to do 2 beams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead and do beam.
Okay.
That's 2d10 plus your charisma.
It's gonna be 10.
All right.
Plus.
Excellent.
3, 4, 13.
So yeah, this thing is officially bloodied. You guys in your first round of combat are putting a lot of dents in it. It is very easy to hit, but you see a lot of it sort of falling onto the ground, kind of losing its kind of animation or like kind of the life within it as we go on to Colton's turn.
Well, yes. So I was kind of weirded out by the slime, so I don't want to touch it anymore. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
pull out my chain and get to whipping.
Yeah. So yeah, you see like a very sort of sharp object against this chain that was kind of used against you. You're not going into a rage, I'm pretty sure.
No.
So
No,
you're just gonna
I'm
roll
trying to
just a normal attack.
Just in
yeah.
general, I'm trying to work on my anger.
Yeah, exactly.
my rage, yeah. Try to
Exactly.
resolve conflict in a healthier way.
With a
Ooh.
chain.
With a chain.
Yeah. So yeah, you can go ahead and attack this thing. Let me double check if you're
Okay, it has
so, yeah, while
hooves.
mounted. Yeah, it does have hooves. Your bike does have hooves. So yeah, your bike has
It's
hooves.
a melee attack plus 6
Yeah.
to hit, reach 5 feet, 1 target.
Yeah, you can feel more on your bonus action to command your creature to attack. I'll allow that.
Right.
At least not while raging, so you don't have to miss out on much.
15 to hit.
15 absolutely hits.
Okay. And then 7 slashing damage.
All right, 7 slashing. Go ahead and make your second attack.
Okay, let's just whip it again. That one's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Ooh, for 13 slashing damage.
Whoa. Okay. This thing
That
is
was
looking
a-
a lot more hurt.
That was 10 plus 3.
Good work. So yeah, this thing is looking more than bloodied. Far below half health. I'll say you guys are doing pretty well hitting it. Oh, you have a chain weapon. Okay, so none of you actually guys attacked this with a melee attack, I'm realizing. You guys aren't within 15 feet of the cube yet. I'll say on the next turn I'll be able to do some stuff with that. But yeah, I definitely fully didn't realize this group was so ranged in its capabilities. So you guys are doing very well for yourselves. So it's going to... You see the red orb isn't acting yet, actually. So you see from the other room a blue ball of ooze splats out from the cinema room as it sort of oozes and combines with the red ooze. As the blue ooze just
Making
like
a purple
zaps you.
ooze.
Yeah, and it's going to go after... who did the most damage to it? I'm going to say Eli did the most damage. Duncan Saxby.
Let's go.
Your
Come get
AC
some.
is 13, if I'm not to be mistaken.
13, yeah, AC 13.
It misses.
Ah.
So fucked.
Oh, so the red ooze is in the moonbeam right now. So if it combined
Yes,
with the
ooze
red,
is in the moonbeam.
if it combined with the red ooze, would it take damage?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a good point. It will take
You
combined
stupid
damage.
oozes didn't think of this.
Idiot.
You see the blue oozes from like the top floor of like the projection room above the lobby within the ceiling above you. as it sort of congeals from the other room as well. As you see a very haunting sort of image of what's like the loudest creaking you can imagine within this sort of like pretty decent but not exactly well-kept cinema lobby. You see a lot of sort of snacks are sort of absorbed, but though you do see oddly a popcorn bucket that is completely undisturbed within the ooze, not completely melting at the acidity of it. Yeah, I'm gonna say this guy can't do his main attack yet, so the red ooze is also going to...
Okay, but wait, does the blue ooze take damage? Or does he have to make the Constitution save for the moonbeam?
Actually, yeah, I'll roll that. Yeah, they'll take the damage now. Yeah, so we'll just say like 7 damage from your last roll. Is that okay?
Do I not reroll again?
Do you roll at the start of every turn, or do I?
It says when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time or starts a turn there, it's engulfed and now must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 2d10 radiant. So I don't know if it stays the same roll. It has to make another Constitution saving throw to see if it takes half or not.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so I'll do the saving throw. That is not going to do it. It fails the saving throw.
Okay.
10 plus, yeah.
So I re-rolled. Do you want the old roll or the new roll?
You can do the new roll damage if you want.
Okay, because that was 1 more point of damage. It was 14 damage.
Damn, 14 damage. Okay. So yeah, you get a good hit in already as it prepares to kind of combine its hit point total and power with it on this first turn. So yeah, the blue one kind of absorbs it. The red one takes an attack against Holly Harmon as it sort of commands the moonbeam. Your AC at this point should be 12?
It is.
Okay. 8 plus 4 is 12.
Is 12.
Right? 12 exactly is, okay. So that is going to be 3, 1, 2. That is 6 plus 2 acid damage for a total of 8 acid damage. So yeah, it goes right for the jacket, singes your jacket.
No, not my jacket. My denim jacket.
So messed up. Now it's acid watch denim jacket as acid goes through it. It honestly does look pretty good.
So, question, because if the red one is going now, would my moonbeam attack happen before it does attack on me?
I think it's on their turn, right? Or yeah, we can list it as before the attack because it did hit on you.
Okay. And then I roll.
Oh, that's a 19 on the die. I'm rolling really good on saving throws, so sorry about that. So yeah, it'll take 7 damage again.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. I rolled like 13 and 14 each time. Okay, and then I have to make a check. So how much damage did you deal me? 8?
I only dealt you 8 damage, so that's going to be DC 10.
Okay.
Which will happen automatically because you have a Stillwater Mind right now.
But that's a Constitution? Oh, yeah. Yay, Concentration of States. Okay.
So yeah, you're very calm.
I'm so good at planning.
Honestly, it's just a really nice look. You almost take like a little bit of psychic damage. It's like, oh my god, my jacket's gonna be ruined. But then the acid wash, you're like, oh, just chill.
Okay, that's actually sick.
You're chilling. As we go back to Matt's turn.
All right, there's 1 cube attacking Eli and 1 cube attacking Maddie, and my programming is starting to kind of like, oh, which one do I defend now? Because I was originally created to defend Eli's future, but then I kind of got left behind with Maddie, and I'm like, the cost benefit analysis module is gonna take over, and since the one that attacked Maddie actually did damage, I'm gonna attack that one.
Unbelievable. That's not how I programmed you.
You left for college, learning boy.
And as I kind of meander over there, I'm swapping from the shotgun to the baseball bat because I'm like, I gotta put myself between the cube and Maddie, and I'm gonna whack it with my baseball bat, which does bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, what are your smites looking like at this level 6? You're at level 2 spells, right?
I could smite it. Yeah, I could do a 2nd level divine smite. You know what? Let's hit it.
Yes,
let's see how this goes. That is 19 plus 7 is
Absolutely
26.
Hits. Completely hits. I'll say it right now because we're on round 2. This thing is AC of 6, so if you roll higher than a 6, you're good to go. I'll give you the go-ahead to roll damage after you roll above 6.
All right. I rolled 8 damage on it.
Hell yeah.
And you know what? Just for the sake of being cool, I'm gonna spend a first level spell slot to do a divine smite on it.
Hell yeah, go for it.
And so I'm just gonna roll another d. So the 8 damage plus 3 more damage, and that is radiant damage for the 3.
Okay, so 3 more radiant damage?
Yeah. And I'm picturing kind of like the sort of like magical whatnot that's going on inside of me, kind of like
exactly. You see
overloads
hot.
And just kind of like.
Yeah, you see steam
as
and
I
like
whack them.
I mean, there's like sort of like magical coffee going through your veins, as like you were kind of more with like a coffee maker and like other intake parts. So yeah, boiling eldritch coffee, as you now know, from Jelva, the Unresting, splatters across this first sort of red slime that puts it pretty much on death's door, if not for the blue slime helping it out, sort of mixing the deals. Maddie, that is your turn.
I'm gonna whack it again then. Oh, I guess that's fine. 9 plus 7 is
you have
16.
a second attack. Oh no.
I got a second attack, baby.
Oh dear. So yeah, you're gonna roll that in
and that'll be 7 more bludgeoning damage for him.
Pretty good. It carries over to the blue slime as you're going into it.
I'm just
Very good.
Annihilating.
Absolutely annihilate it. So yeah. Also, bonus action. Anything you wanted to do for that?
Nope. That's everything.
Nope. No problem. Yeah, we'll go on back to Maddie. Maddie, I think you can control the moonbeam as a bonus action, or move its position.
I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
I think
If you want
here,
to.
let me double check.
Oh.
You can use an action to move the moonbeam. So if I move it, I can't do an action. So is the red slime dead?
Red slime, it would have died if it didn't combine with the blue slime.
Okay,
yeah,
so
the
it's
slime
still
is still
there.
coming at you guys, and still taking damage within the moonbeam. It's still in the range
Okay.
of the moonbeam. I'll say that.
So I'm gonna leave it there, and then Holly's definitely got like that self-defense keychain with like a little pocket knife on it. So she's
Yeah.
gonna pull that bad boy out, and I have 2-weapon attack. I can make an extra attack with 2 different types of light weapons. So I'm gonna
like the Nick property or something, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the moonbeam there, and then I have a dagger and then a quarterstaff that I am like kind of like flavoring to look like a telescope that she has to like look for things far away. She takes those 2 things out. She's gonna stab it and then smack it, and the moonbeam is still
go
going.
ahead and roll those attacks.
Okay, so it has to make the Constitution save for the moonbeam.
Yep, you go within 5 feet to make this attack.
Okay, so that the dagger, I got a 14 or 16.
That absolutely hits, yeah. Roll above a 6 and you'll be able to hit. I'll tell you
Okay,
guys that
cool.
now to get this last round faster.
Okay, so that's gonna be 9 piercing with the dagger. And I'm gonna hit with the quarterstaff, and that's gonna be 7 damage bludgeoning. Plus whatever it takes for the moonbeam.
Pretty good hits. And it's going to take, I think you rolled it at the top of the round for the moonbeam, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Joe, do you want me to do another roll for...
Yeah, we'll take care of that roll in a second, as you have to roll a DC 12 athletics check as you do melee attacks against this thing.
Oh,
Sorry for
I'm
being
really
a little
not
cheeky.
athletic. Oh,
Sorry
no.
for being a little cheeky.
Oh. Okay, what is athletics? Oh shoot, I have a +0 and I got a 9! Dang it!
You see your hand caught, and it actually does react as it's lost one of its, as it is actually pretty injured for a gelatinous cube. So the wall wraps around you a little bit as blue kind of slime engulfs your fists and deals you 4, 6, 9 acid damage on your other sleeve. So now your denim jacket is like matching a little bit better with the acid wash, but you actually see the flesh on your hands start to sizzle with acid as you're caught in it a little bit.
Oh,
Ouch.
shoot. Okay, but the moonbeam still hits?
Yeah, moonbeam is still gonna hit. I'll say that's gonna happen on their turn. So I'll ask you to roll a little something after Eli
Okay.
and Colton's go. Eli, you're
But
up.
oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Mind Spike, which is a 2nd level spell, but I have a 3rd level spell slot, so it'll be 4d8 on a failed Wisdom saving throw.
Shit. Wisdom save? Absolutely fucked.
They're probably so unwise.
That was
Just
my thought.
cubes of gel.
Oh my god.
Probably dumb as hell.
I'm
You
trying to
have-
cast Mind Spike, but I'm like, where is the mind? Where
They
am I
have,
spiking?
they have a -2. They roll a 3.
That's gonna be a hit there.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and
Yeah, go ahead and
roll
roll.
damage.
Yeah, roll your damage.
24.
24 damage?
24. I also get to know where they are for an hour, but I don't think they'll be alive that long.
That's half of the health they have right now. Is 24.
Ooh.
Holy fuck. Holy
Someone finish him
shit.
off already.
Jesus. I mean, it's Colton's turn. We'll see if he can manage
So
it.
wait, am I stuck like I can't move?
You can move.
Okay.
You have total. You're not completely in the cube because it's not really kind of a wall, but you are. I don't want to say. You can move on your turn, but yeah, reactions are going to be tough for you. I think is how the ooze
Okay.
cube is out.
Who's cute?
Creatures inside the cube have total cover. You're not inside the cube.
Yeah, not quite. Let's see. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay.
Did I get
I figured.
pen on my forehead? I think I just did.
I no longer want to touch this thing
Mhm.
after seeing what happened to,
Very true, yeah.
Holly.
But I will say your
So
chain
I'm gonna-
didn't actually touch it, so that was the trick there. The chain is you can attack without getting within 5 feet.
Yeah.
Was the what you could do there, but yeah, whatever you want to do.
Well, I'm gonna use Wicked Breath.
Oh, wicked breath again! You get that on short rests, right?
Yes.
Holy shit! You're about to torch this thing. Yeah, it's. Oh my god. That's a dexterity saving throw. Is what I made that because I'm a moron.
Yes.
-4 to dexterity because it's stuck to a fucking wall.
8 plus my con modifier.
6 minus
so
4 is 2.
11. Okay, you had to beat an 11, so that's not it.
There's not it now. Okay.
Okay. 92 to hit. All right. Here's damage. 9.
9 damage. Okay. So hurt, dude. But yeah, that's an action. I want to say.
Technically, it's a bonus action.
Right. Yeah. Breath Star bonus action in 2024 was my thinking behind that.
That's kind of crazy.
So yeah.
So I guess I'll.
I mean, it is a pretty low save. Was the
Yeah.
thinking behind that? Whoever designed that. No, not health.
All right. Let's swing the chain. Keep the party going.
Party.
That is a 13.
Yeah, absolutely hits.
Heck yeah. For 11 points of slashing damage.
Oh my god. This thing is still standing. Very exciting. As it actually takes damage on the end of its turn on the moonbeam. So if it can survive this moonbeam, we'll fucking see.
Yeah.
But it is going to be cheeky and finally have a chance to engulf one of you.
I have a feeling it's gonna be me.
Got a feeling. Actually, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't resist. You're already in there.
I got stuck.
So yeah, we're going to do a DC 12 dexterity saving throw. So this should
Okay,
be
okay.
better.
I got
right?
pretty good
Are you-
dex.
Are you within 12 feet of me? Or 10 feet of me?
Am I?
Because I came over to attack
That's
the one
right.
that was attacking you.
Oh, you
So you
are
get
also in
+1
melee
to
range.
your
Oh, I
saving
forgot
throw.
to do the melee thing on Matthew. Okay, I actually feel bad about that. I could have got Matthew.
I can roll that right now if you want
Oh, that's gonna be a 3.
Actually,
Oh wait,
do you guys think it's
is it a
cruel?
saving throw? It's gonna be 5.
Yeah, it is a saving throw. Okay, that doesn't save. Actually, you know what?
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
You know, we're gonna raise the stakes a little bit. We're gonna raise the stakes. Matt, also make the saving throw. It's gonna engulf both of you at the same time. Because I set this up in a big interior space.
It's a dex saving throw?
Yes, DC 12.
19.
It doesn't catch you. You're gonna take... Is it no damage or half damage on a successful save?
I'm gonna say no damage.
I'm gonna homebrew it and say you guys take damage anyways.
Yeah.
There's truly so much in this gelatinous cube text block because it's an icon, and it's getting a little bit late.
It's a classic.
So yeah, it's gonna deal 3d6 damage, 3, 6, 9. So 9 acid damage for both of you as you both begin to suffocate.
Oh no, I'm really glad I took all my hit dice because I would have been dead.
Oh really? Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you get for being a spellcaster. So yeah.
So is it still a DC 10 concentration?
Yeah, still DC 10.
Okay, then I pass.
So yeah, the moonbeam is still going as it's gonna go ahead and roll the moonbeam damage.
Oh, come on, big numbers here.
Fails the Constitution saving throw this time.
That's gonna be 12.
With 11 hit points remaining,
Yes.
you fry the slime around you.
Just suffocating.
Smelling like a sort of very hotly anticipated film reel as you guys defeat the slime engulfing the movie theater.
Let's go.
Gross.
And as we go for 2 hours again, I'll leave you on this note. Good lord. The slime dissipates into the floor, whoosh, burned into the air. And you see around it bodies, or within the slime around the movie theater. You see a very malnourished body slumped to the floor next to the movie theater. But then also at the ticket stand, you see a body slumped down, skin completely emaciated, eyes completely gone, hollowed out, like a skeleton. Has it down there with the name tag, Quinn Roman.
No.
They're the person you were hoping to talk to.
Oof.
You hear a loud gasp from this sort of gauntly creature. Coughing up slime. Oh my god. Oh, I got a bad headache.
You good?
Lord. I think so. What happened? Ugh.
Kind of got slimed.
Is this?
Kid's Choice Award.
You hear like a
You
weird...
could say that.
They begin to stand up and rub their face. You hear leathery flesh kind of rub against each other as like a sort of god person does it around you. And you see somebody try to rub their eyes, but their eyes go into their sockets like a skeleton. As we end this episode of Pride Pines.
Oh. Oh no!
Spooky dead skeleton.
Spooky Dead again. So join us next week, next Wednesday, on the VMEArcana feed. Share the show. Check out the Patreon. Drop a like on that like button if you're listening on YouTube. For all 3 people who've listened on YouTube before. Shout out.
Whoop whoop. And I'm one of them.
Oh.
Shout out, Maddie.
That's what we like to see. Shout out Maddie, shout out Matt, shout out Colton, shout out Eli. Thank you guys so much for playing longer than we all planned.
Hey, thank you for DMing.
And as we say at the end of every episode of VMEArcana, stay safe, stay sane. Tabletop gaming is cool.
Tabletop gaming is cool.
2012. That's what we always say.
Every day.
Every week, we're still on that train.
It's been a rough 15 years for you, Matt, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday I've been saying that.
Yeah, past 15 years.